Hi everyone, this is Dynamite FX. In today's video, I want to show you a mistake you shouldn't make as a trader if you must be successful in this business. Okay, I made a video before now. In my previous video, I explained why it is good to follow the trend and why you shouldn't go against a trend, okay, for whatever reason. That is why it is good to have a strategy and stick by that strategy. Okay, so I want to show you mistakes you must not make. Okay, mistakes you must not make when trading. If you can observe this chart before you right now, you will see that this market, this pair USDJPY on a 1 hour time frame was, or rather is, in an uptrend. Okay, this place was broken, this structure was broken, and then it became a new high. Is that creating a new high? Let me adjust this for you. Okay, this is the trend line that was here. You can draw a trend line from anywhere depending on what you're looking at. So this trend was broken, and all of these movements. Okay, so I want to assume this was actually a reversal point where the market reversed. This is the support I taught you about support. If you can remember what I said in my last video about support and resistance. So this was the support in this pair, and this was a point of reversal in this pair, and then a new high. Okay, the trend was broken even at this confluence zone. It was broken. Such trades, okay, sometimes the market makers do not come back to give you a proper retest as expected after a breakout. Okay, and it is this retest that, okay, I will advise you to wait for whenever you want to take a trade. Though there are other options, there are other things you can look out for in the market, but a retest in the market makes that trend, a retest on any trend makes that trend a healthy trend, gives you an opportunity to re-enter. And so I want to point you out to reasons. No, it's not just enough showing you win trades and how to make money. I also have to show you how to avoid losses in the market, the mistakes you shouldn't make. And these are the common mistakes a lot of traders make and lose money. And I'm using the same account I used for an illustration 2 days back, and I'll show you the mistake you as a beginner shouldn't make, any trade at all shouldn't make. And what is that mistake? Never trade against a trend. The rule of the game is follow the trend. The trend is always your friend. Now, this is a mistake I made, and I want you not to repeat it. This is a live trade. It's actually going on right now. Okay, this is a live trade. I'm actually live right now on this trade, as you can see. This is that account. What can you see? My balance was 117 from the other trade, and what are you seeing here? This is a -9, and I'll explain why it's like this. Now look at this trade. If I zoom, okay, let me zoom in so that you can see the candlestick formation that made me take this trade. This was the formation I saw that made me take this trade. Okay, that was the formation I saw that made me take this trade. And what are you seeing here? I've not taught you about RSI first, but as at this point, the market displayed to be in an overbought zone. Okay, and when I saw this candlestick, oops, I jumped in. There was nothing wrong jumping in, but the point is you have to know that it doesn't work like this all the time. There are sometimes you take a trade from there. This was my entry. There are times you take a trade from there and fine, it plays out at least to this point. It could have come to this point and then returned back, hopefully. But the market doesn't play out every time the way you want it to. Yes, it doesn't. I can't tell you that that is always going to play out the same way. First of all, I didn't stick to the rule. That's number one mistake you must not make. You have to stick to the rule. If you are trading using moving averages and you're trading retest, wait for a retest. Don't try to be smarter than the market makers. You cannot be smarter than them. Okay, you are a retail trader. You cannot compete with the big banks. You cannot compete with the hedge funds and the rest of them, the big players in this market. You are just a retail trader. Just follow the big banks, follow them where they are going, follow them, observe what they are doing, and protect your account. Now, this is the mistake. Number one, I didn't follow the rule. Mark that. You must not go against the rule if you must be successful. That is lack of discipline. Number two, yes, I saw a good entry, but this was against the trend. This entry was against the trend. Why? The rule is when price is above the moving average, okay, when price is above the moving average, you are looking for buy only. Here, I was supposed to be looking for buy only, just buy only, and then I went against the rule. That's number one mistake you must not make. Take note. And number two, even if you're trying to catch peaks, number two rules, even if you were trying to catch peak, number two rule, even if you were trying to catch peaks, which this was looking like a peak, because it got to, if you check your historical data, you will see that it got to a zone here, a zone I call former, this is a former a former resistance, but now because of this breakthrough here, it has now become a support. If the price had respected to come down here, at that moment, this would have still been a resistance for the time being. But because price actually failed to go down, and then it broke through, it went up. This zone is where we are looking at now. This zone fails to be a resistance anymore. It is no longer a resistance. As you can see, it has been broken, and now a broken resistance has now become a support. That is resistance turned support. I hope you can remember in my previous video if you had watched it. So please, if you have not, go back and watch it. You will see it there. Okay, so I assumed that whenever price got to a support, a former resistance, and then I saw a beautiful candlestick here formation, then boom, I should sell. Guys, as you can see, I placed a sell trade. I want you to see this clearly. Let me take this off from here. Take note. This is the sell trade I took. This is it, as you can see. Okay, I have made the mistake, but let me show you that even though you were not right in the market, there are other ways of protecting your accounts without being removed from the business. How did I do that? Yes, I made a foolish decision, but the fourth mistake, okay, I didn't talk about the fourth. Is it the fourth or the third mistake? The third mistake was that I didn't protect my account. You cannot see a stop loss. There is no stop loss. Rather, you can see a take profit. I said a take profit, but I did not set a stop loss. That is all wrong. That's wrong. Any trade without a stop loss. This was a good formation, a good candlestick formation. But as long as there was no stop loss here to protect these accounts, this was a wrong approach to trading. I put down a take profit. I placed a trade, but I didn't have a stop loss. This was wrong. Completely wrong. So even if I was to lose a trade, I should have just lost few pips. Okay, I would have just had to lose a little bit, because you would know the future of that pair, future of that trade. Most definitely, you cannot tell completely. My loss would have been cut from here. I won't have had to incur all of these movements in a loss. I don't know if you understand. This is the reason why proper risk management is key. Anything can happen in the market. I don't want to take long on this. Now look at this. But what saved me was this. I wasn't completely foolish. What do I mean? I have $100 account, $100 account. Look at the loss is increasing. I know why I'm holding on to it. I'm going to recover this money. But this is what I'm trying to teach you. I told you I made a deposit to this account. This was a deposit. This is the life. I'm trying to be very real. I'm trying to show you what's going on here. This was the profit I made. Check my previous video. You see it on my live results trading the strategy. This was the profits I made. The first profit, the second. Okay, this was the profits I made. This was the first and this was the second profit I made. Now you're about to see a loss in this account because I'm going to close this trade. I won't sit down there and assume that everything is okay. This is the account. Now you know I have a little account size. Just assume if I was using, okay, this is $100 account, $100 account, and then I end up exposing, let's say I end up using this lot size to trade. Okay, I end up using this lot size to trade. What do you think would have happened? This is $2 per pip. This is $2 per pip, for example. And then out of this, you need just 50 pips to be out of the market completely, to burn your fingers. And that's risky. Okay, let's say I was risking $1 per pip, because this is $100, and then I want to invest $1 per pip, and I use this lot size here. Okay, I use this lot size to place a trade. Just imagine what would have happened. I would have lost how many by now? How many pips from my entry? This is 111060. Okay, let's calculate that for my entry. That's $36. 36 pips from where it is right now. From here to here, this is 36 pips. So I would have been in $36 loss. This would have been a trade in $36 loss. Now 100 minus 36 would have been how much? Now let's calculate it. This would have been 64 left. I would have exposed my account to too much danger. I hope I calculated the pips properly. Now look at it. But right here, what do we have? Instead of having a loss of 36 in minus, well, look what I have here. I have 9. I have $9. So you see why it is very keen to protect your account. This was my initial balance before I took this trade, and then this is what is left. So if I decide to terminate this trade now, I still have $100, my initial deposit, and I still have $6 profit on top to work with. So guys, I hope you understand the reason why it is good to use stop loss. The stop loss would have stopped me out. The only thing that saved me was that I didn't use a lot size too big for the account, meaning I didn't expose this account to too much danger. So do not expose your account. Do not expose your account. Do not expose your account to too much danger. Okay, learn to protect your account. So this is a live trade, and this is a life result of mistakes that you must not make when trading the market. You cannot be greedy, you cannot be faster and sharper than the market. So at this point, I am not going to, okay, now the fifth mistake some people do. The fifth mistake traders make is, oops, it's going to return back. Oh, let this return. Oh, I wish it returns. No, you don't know if it's going to return, if it's going to keep going up. You can never tell. I bet you it can keep going up and up and up and up and up. You don't sit and assume that it's going to come down. Don't assume. It is very early to cut this loss, and that's what I'm going to do now. Yeah, I have lost $10, more than $10, but it's not going to be difficult to recover this as long as the account is still safe. My initial balance is 0 and I still have a little profit left, so let's do this. I'm going off right now. Protect your account always and stay safe. I hope you've learned from my mistakes, so do not repeat